Here with us now at the JNS conference is Colonel Richard Kemp. Shalom.
Shalom, very nice to be here, and it's been a great event so far.
Thank you for joining us here in this interview. First of all, a few words about your feeling as the news is coming in from your country, the resignation of Starmer.
Yeah, I think it's going to be quite welcome news in the country because Prime Minister Starmer has been very unpopular for pretty much all of his premiership. But we don't know who's going to take over from him. Obviously, the most likely is Andy Burnham. I don't think anything's going to change much in Britain, particularly Britain's relationship with Israel, which is, I think, at an all-time low at the moment.
It's not going to improve.
I don't think it'll improve. It may even get worse than it is now, because so many people, so many of the party's supporters, both in Parliament and outside Parliament, are vehemently opposed to Israel. They've eaten up all this anti-Israel propaganda, and they do not want Britain to have good relations with Israel. They don't want cooperation with Israel.
A few more words about Britain. We were just there not long ago with an Israel real estate fair protest of Palestinians. The police pushed the Jewish protest to a side street. Tell us a few words about how you see the situation of Jews in Britain these days.
I think the situation is quite bad. I've spoken to many British Jews, and a large number of them are either have left Britain, are thinking about leaving Britain, or are in the process of leaving, which is a terrible thing. And it's bad for them. It's bad for us as a country for two reasons. One, because we're supposed to be a shining pillar of Western democracy and liberty and equal rights. And we're showing ourselves, I think, in some respects, to be the opposite in relation to a Jewish population. And the other reason why it's bad for Britain is because over the years, including now, our Jewish community has contributed so much to the United Kingdom in so many different ways, I think disproportionate to the numbers of Jews that actually are in the UK. So if more and more leave, it'll be a great tragedy for Britain for those reasons.
A few words about what we're seeing in the region, the deal with Iran. How do you see it at this point? Is it really a failure, the end of the war?
I don't think it's the end of the war, and I don't think it's necessarily a failure either. It's probably a bump in the road. I think we're going to see events unfold maybe in a completely different way that we're expecting over the coming months. President Trump is a man who is not, many people here may think he's made the wrong decision, he's betrayed Israel. They may think that. But actually, he has a bigger strategy and he has bigger interests for his country than just Israel. And he's also a man who is not going to be wedded to this MOU if it doesn't work out the way he wants it to work out. So I don't see this as being an absolute disaster. I think it's maybe a bit of a problem, but maybe it will resolve itself. And either way, whatever happens, I think it's really important that Israel establishes its red lines, what it's prepared to do, what it's not prepared to do, and sticks by them.
Yeah, that's the big question nowadays. Could Israel even say the term red lines? It seems that they're just doing whatever. There are proxies, some say. A proxy of the United States, Israel.
I think Israel is far from a proxy or a vassal of the US. Under Prime Minister Netanyahu, who has a extraordinary relationship with President Trump, even through thick and thin. They don't always see eye to eye, but as I understand it, they understand each other. And I think that Prime Minister Netanyahu, obviously, as any Prime Minister should, his number one priority is not America, it's not even relations with America, it's Israel's national interest, which does include good relations with America. But I think he's a man who's going to be able to stand up and specify what his red lines are and then stick to them. And I think in particular, that includes Lebanon.
Colonel Richard Kemp, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much. Pleasure.